Welcome to Mitten Music.
Season 4, Raw, Live, and Authentic. Episode 8 with Jennifer Hudson-Prenkert from Sounds of the Zoo, talking about Bell's Spring Concert Series in Kalamazoo. All right, well, we're excited tonight to have a two-time guest join us.
Yeah, she's going to join our two-timer club. Do we have a three-timer club yet?
Not yet, no.
No.
It's a little early for that, though.
It could be anybody in the two-timers club could easily be the first three-timers.
That's right.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Out of 4 years, that's not too bad.
I know.
We haven't had more than one person on more than twice. That's pretty good.
Definitely. So we've got Jennifer Hudson-Prenkert coming on here from the Sounds of the Zoo. So it's hey, Jennifer.
There she is.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
This is my second, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You joined the two-timer club. I think there's only a handful, maybe three, four people that have been on 2 times on the Mitten Music, but no one's been on 3 times. So
I'm going for 3. Just so
you will be in the 3 at some point. You will. Well, who's going to be first?
I don't know, but I like your shirt. Thank you for plugging Sounds of the Zoo. I normally probably would have, but I'm actually at work right now, or just finishing up work. So I'm at my office at work, and I appreciate that. And also, you saying 4 years, I heard you say, and I'm celebrating my 4th year, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, so we kind of started about the same time. Yeah, that's awesome. I guess I didn't realize. I knew you hadn't been around forever, but I guess I never placed how many years you'd been doing it.
Yeah, so we're
cool.
We got birthdays, I guess, together.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Next year we'll be 5. So, we'll do a little celebration.
And we're still here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
We got to keep each other going,
Absolutely.
So we don't falter.
100%. Well, I support what you're doing 1,000%. I think it's so needed, and I definitely kind of think of myself and yourselves. I call us Michigan Music Ambassadors for those of us, that are helping this scene so much. And Michigan Music Alliance, I work with them as well. Local Spins, Sonic Coast, Michigan Rocks. There's Opener. It's amazing. Get the gig. The Art of Music, which is new. I mean, there's so much coming up, and I know I'm missing things, but I try to keep this roster going because I think Chuck Marshall, actually from GIG, was telling me, he said, it sounds like you're actually creating a Michigan Music Guild, like a beer guild.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. So I
think he is right.
Right. So that's where
cool.
all of this comes from. And we all of us have different platforms, which is so cool. And then we can utilize each other's platforms, right? For the greater good of our local music scene in Michigan. So it's awesome what you guys do.
Look at you.
So for those that don't know you, Jennifer, what's Sounds of the Zoo?
So what is Sounds of the Zoo? I actually have my mission statement. Sounds of the Zoo is a music festival. My mission is creating change through music. The nucleus of Sounds of the Zoo is a week-long music fest that takes place in Kalamazoo, Michigan. This year, my 4th year, will be September 22nd through the 28th. I have 7 days, over 8 locations, over 50 bands. That's free for the community. We celebrate diversity and inclusion and bring about awareness to mental health and sustainability. My goal is to make Kalamazoo/Michigan music destination location.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun time.
But I also have to interject. The other thing I do is that so this is the unique part about Sounds of the Zoo, as opposed to other festivals, is I consider myself a mission-based music festival that has legs all year long. So I'm doing things, at least 1 to 2, 3 times a month, and also to use Sounds of the Zoo as a brand to be used for the greater good of the community. And that has me do a lot of different things and have a lot of different faces. So it's a lot, and it's new still, and a lot of times it overwhelms people. I understand that, but it's part of who I am, and I think it's necessary, and I feel like I'm definitely a visionary in blazing some new paths and connecting people in unique ways, and I'm here for the long haul.
Cool.
That's great.
I did.
So yeah, you mentioned it's for the whole year. You're doing different things. You're sponsoring things, or you're putting out events, or whatever it might be to be involved in the local music scene. So the reason we were kind of focused tonight, and you've already had one of these events, but down in Kalamazoo, you've got a local concert series going on, and Sons of the Zoo is sponsoring that. So what's that all about? And
Yeah,
where,
it's
where
very
can people find?
exciting. I mean, part of this whole ethos for me is local music. This is what's, prompted me to do all the things I've been doing that have led me up to this part where I'm at in my life. And Kalamazoo, we're really, like a lot of places, struggling with our music venues, keeping things alive, open. Everybody's got a little something, but not everybody has. It's hard because it costs money to, like, kind of knock it out of the park to have all the things met for a music venue, right? I mean, it's just really tough. So, we're very, very lucky to have Bells as one of our leaders in the industry of venues, and meaning that they have, a full on space to provide professional sound. I mean, when you book a show at Bells, it's like, it's great. It's top notch. And as a event and promoter and booking agent, it's like a dream to have a show there, because once you're in, they've got everything dialed in, and it's a lot of work, and they've been doing this for a long time. Amy Richards actually was the original creator of the Bells, like, music series there, and I've been really a part of that since the very beginning, watching that evolve. And so it's always been on my radar, and wanting to pay homage to the different venues, which is why I host Sounds of the Zoo at different venues, is to bring attention to the venues, as well as cross promoting the different styles of music, so that people will go to different places. And Bell's being that premier spot. And now we have outdoor space they've really built. And Val Walters and Nicole LaRue are both booking there and doing a great job, as well as Rachel Reinholtz is a new member as an event coordinator, I believe, or manager of the space. So when there's shows, like, she's there doing all of the artist relations and all of those things. Rachel used to work at the State Theater, and she's an up and coming, it's great, like an up and coming booking agent. Like, to me, very comparable to what I'm doing. And it's cool to see someone younger and female that's interested, in doing things that I'm doing, but in her own way. And we talked a lot about the local scene. And now that, Rachel's there, she can see some needs being met. And I feel like Bells does such a good job with all kinds of music. But just like everybody gets kind of pigeonholed, and sometimes it's hard to realize that the local scene really needs some extra love and extra branding and extra attention. It's easy to think when you're just booking music that you assume it's local. But Rachel is really the kind of the crux of making this happen at Bells. And she's the one that booked all the acts. I helped her a little bit, but really it's about being a sponsor. We also have Ferrentos Productions and Sebastian Sound. Eric, Sebastian, and Zane are two of our big, like, production sound engineers in Kalamazoo. So we also wanted to shine a light, like, they're providing the sound there at Bells and working together, and Keegan does lights, and it's so cool. But we also want to put an emphasis on production in general, and put spotlights at their rock stars too, and all of the elements it takes to put on shows. So Rachel created, we have 4 days, and they're 4 Thursdays. We had 2 weeks ago, we did our first one, which we had Santino Jones, Jess Ivy, and Hannah Lane. So we had some local Kalamazoo. Hannah's from GR, and Jess is in Detroit, and then Santino is Kalamazoo. So we're really trying to set it up and cross promote, and really, like, make sense of who we're booking, and then try to educate people to say, hey, they're not all from here, right? Like, you have to open up those doors to tour, or you're going to get really stagnant. So we kicked it off. It was amazing. It was a Thursday night. I think we pre-sold 86 tickets, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And we had maybe over 130 that night. So we had, like, 50 walk up. And
Nice.
Our, I believe they were 15 day of and 12 pre-sale. And people were great and really gracious. And we had our local station 106.5 Jack FM as a sponsor also. And Stephanie Bishop, who's been emceeing for myself at Sounds of the Zoo, came down, and she was fantastic. It felt old school for me, in the sense that I don't know. People, I think what I really realize is we're missing the excitement in the actual culture of the music scene, not even just the musicians or the venues, but I go out to be social.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like, for me, it's like my church. And I love seeing, no, I'm going to see you guys there. I'm going to see people from local spins or
Mhm.
whatever, or just my friends that love music. And so I think sometimes we just forget that piece of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I kind of made a joke, but it's not really that I want to bring local, I want to make the word local sexy.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
I
that it's
like
not just
that.
local, but it's like, hey, we're
Yeah.
local, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like when growing up, like, an angsty teenager, you're starting to go to rock shows and all this. Like I always remember, I bought the ticket, so I wanted to see every band that was playing. So I wouldn't typically skip the opening acts. And then I slowly realized, man, a lot of these opening acts for a lot of these concerts I go are like local bands. But I never I never thought to like, hey, I should go check out them where they're playing at. I was just focused on the national headliner that was coming in. And I wish back then I kind of gravitated towards more like, hey, I could probably see these guys play somewhere in Grand Rapids like any night of the week.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, lost my train of thought where I was going with that, but
Well, no, but I know what you're saying. I think it's
it's just that local like I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. Like
yeah,
you don't think of that. You don't
right.
think of it as being sexy, and it should be. It needs to
It
be,
should
right?
be.
It is. It
Well,
is.
it's all
Definitely.
necessary too. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like I want to build a fan base, but also simultaneously like get people to be open to anything. So like if you're
Right.
coming down like last week, you're like, oh, Santino Jones, like love him. Like I don't want people to not get excited about who they love, but I
Mhm.
also want them to think, wow, I've never seen Jess Ivy. Who is that? Or
Yeah.
Hannah Lane. Oh, was she in Earth Radio? It's like,
Right.
and then also trying to make sense. Like Hannah and I are working together, and Jess and Santino. I book all of the people. It's been awesome that are part of this concert series. I have personal relationships with. I'm very grateful and proud. And I think one of the things I'm really proud of is developing those relationships, like with yourselves included, where we're really become friends. We
Yeah.
really support. It's very genuine.
Mhm.
And all of us, it's going to take all of us to do that, right? It's not just putting a band on stage, getting them paid and being like, sweet. I mean, we have to work together. The venues have to recognize that too, that we need to make sense of how we're doing this, not just randomly. There's not enough shows happening. So I'm thinking, like, for example, I'm using Hannah just because she has a new album out.
Mhm.
I just booked her at the Clover Room for May 9th. And she's also going to be part of Sounds of the Zoo singer-songwriter night. And my goal is to promote her and her music and her album and like tie it all in together. Like she was just at the Bells series. Now she's over here. Now she's up in Grand Rapids. But for me personally, I'm trying to make sense of it and try to promote her through Sounds of the Zoo platform so I can start educating people and
Yeah.
also sharing all the work they do with albums and coming out with new songs. You interview people all the time. It's a lot of work and it's very
Right.
personal.
Yeah. And I like the whole thing about the Hannah thing. And that's one example, but like bringing her down for several events or promoting her, you're kind of helping to build a fan. Everybody starts to become familiar with who she is
Mhm.
as you get closer to the Sounds of the Zoo, right? So maybe a couple weeks ago when she was in Kalamazoo, maybe not as many people knew her, but then the next event they know her, and then finally, as she continues to come down to Kalamazoo, people are more familiar with her. So I like
Right,
that.
exactly. And also then maybe it's like, then if you go see Hannah wherever, then you might go see her in Grand Rapids and then she's with
Right.
someone else that you don't know, or that maybe
Mhm.
you
Yep.
do know. And also I have to say, again, I try to cultivate relationships with everybody I work with, whether I know them or not, I will know them. And that's something I'm really proud of. And Hannah's been and all the people I work with are really open to that. And actually that kind of leads me into on next Thursday is our second series, March 13th, and we've got Seth Bernard and Gregory Stovetop. And Seth is just,
Yeah.
I think of him like the godfather of all things music. But Seth is, he's very much about a steward of like activist, with water
Yeah.
and human rights. And he is a musician himself, extremely talented, was always huge part of Hoxeyville Festival. He does Earthworks
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Collective and Harvest Gathering. And I feel very inspired by what he's been doing for a long time before I came around, or any of us. So really paying homage to him. It's awesome that he's coming. And I don't think Kalamazoo truly knows these other artists not from Kalamazoo. I mean, I love Kalamazoo so much, but we can be a little insular, and it's just something we're working on, or I'm trying to help work through the music.
For sure. You obviously are.
And Gregory is an amazing artist as well, and does a lot of work with Seth. So it'll be fun to have the two of them.
Yeah, I heard Gregory was back in Michigan, I think permanently again.
Is he? Okay.
I think that's what when we were at Sounds of the Zoo and we talked to Jared Selner, Sasquatch, he was mentioning that he thought he would back in Michigan for good.
That's awesome. So. I love it. So we're really excited to have him, and I get to see their music. So I think we have a great variety of music, and, I hope that people get inspired to kind of, I don't know, we can, everyone can do their own local scene, if you will, but it'd be cool if everyone, especially even I was thinking in Kalamazoo, if every night of the week someone was picking one, or at least a month, like pick one day of the week or one day of the month where you call it local. And then it's like, wow, if Monday night's at, I don't know, the Clover Room, if Tuesday night was at Shakespeare's, we're really getting low on our venues, but that would be cool, is that we can know that we can come. And then even though you want to know sometimes who's playing, sometimes like, oh, well, I know it's going to be this cool local.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. That's how as time has gone on, we've seen more shows. I totally don't mind. I like just walking in like, hey, I have no idea who's playing tonight, and I'm excited to see who it's going to be, and I'm going to love it no matter what.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, that's the thing. There's plenty of talent. So we know that from all parts of the state, and Kalamazoo included. Like, there's a lot of bands in Kalamazoo alone that could fill those nights without a problem. So.
Well, and the challenge becomes the touring situation. I mean, in general, right? Even just in our own state, to go from, even Grand Rapids to Kalamazoo, that's still gas money. It's not super far, but that's still almost 2 hours. And, the guarantee, it's tough. So that's why I say we have to really work together and try to use our platform. So like, I'd love to tour with Sounds of the Zoo, at some point, and offer, I have a whole thing, a side hustle. Like, I have an idea of how to help this. And I'm thinking another way would be to connect like the theaters. You've got like Frank Center for the Arts, Lucky Wolf and Pawpaw, the Park Theater in Holland, the Acorn Theater. Like, I think about all these places and we get them to talk when they have comparable capacities, especially those theaters where they have professional sound, seated, you could sell some tickets and it's already rolling. And then all of a sudden we can create these little tours, getting hotels involved to be willing to donate, or, I would like to have an extra, once I can make my money to pay everybody and myself, then I'd like to have some extra cash to be able to throw at people to say, hey, we got this tour going. So I just, I think we just have to keep talking. And so your platform is very, helps a lot with this.
Yeah, sweet.
So what else is coming? You said 4 events. So there's been one already. We just talked about the one coming next week, Thursday. So that'll be on the 13th. And then 2 weeks from there, you've got
March 27th. We've got Yolanda Lavender, Normal Mode, Brandon Fitzpatrick, and The Element.
Okay.
And so that's going to be a fun one. Yolanda is a Kalamazoo R&B singer. She's amazing. Is just great on the scene. Normal Mode is Dutcher Snedeker from Grand Rapids, and then Brandon Fitzpatrick. He's I guess he is living in Kalamazoo, but I always associate him with Battle Creek because he did a lot of stuff there. He was at Minor Element. So this is I think this is an offshoot. It was a little bit bigger band. So we've got some really cool jazz and R&B. It's going to be a really awesome, unique evening. And then April 3rd, we have Kate Rose from Kalamazoo and Molly from Grand Rapids. So again, it's going to be a really wonderful night. So I think all of these are going to be really fun and exciting. And so I'm anxious to see how they're attended, if that really took off and people, hey, we want to come down and check this out. And
I'm familiar with Kate Rose. She's a singer-songwriter, right? And then
she also is in Kate Rose in the Band of Thorns, and she does the Fleetwood Mac tribute band also. And Shania Twain. She's busy.
Wow.
Dang. That's
cool. I'm not familiar with Molly.
She's a local Grand Rapids artist. R&B. She's great. I believe, I don't want to, misspeak, but I think she was feels like she's kind of gotten back on the scene a little bit, the same with Yolanda, kind of just comes and goes where it feels right to her, when it's the right opportunity, but they're always there, performing. And Yolanda also has YL Artistry. So she's a big, component of supporting just artists and really educating. And she's just been, yeah, she's amazing. She's opened up for like Erica Badu, and she's a staple in our community.
Sweet.
And Candace
cool.
Lavender, I don't know if you know, I've heard of Candace DC. She's a hip hop artist. Just did a really cool collaboration with the Kalamazoo Symphony Orchestra with hip hop. It was off the hook. But Candace and Yolanda are cousins, and they're both really, really talented.
Ooh, so they got it running in the family.
Yes, they do. Yeah. And I actually worked with Candace this year. We're going to work together specifically to work on the hip hop experience again during Sounds of the Zoo that we did at
Cool.
Green Door.
Dig it.
Awesome.
That's cool.
This is cool.
Yeah, I'm getting excited already.
Yeah, cool little short concert series in the spring, and great venue, like you said, the Bells, and it's great highlighting that local music. So thanks.
Yeah, and we're hoping to kick this off again in the fall. The idea is that we'll, everyone summer's always so weird because you got a lot of the outdoor stuff, and I know we're all kind of gauging what that looks like, but we'll definitely try to come back in the fall and make this, if this is successful, I think Bells will let Rachel continue, and we're going to spotlight different people. I think Local Spins will be spotlighted. I was last week, even though I was a sponsor. And it's just really curating, working together, collaborating, just keeping this, like-minded people working together. We're on a precipice, and we need to put our energy into something really positive, and we're onto something in Michigan, Cool.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks, Jennifer, for jumping on and giving us a little peek into the series. Hopefully people will get out and go to Kalamazoo and check out the series. And then once again, Sounds of the Zoo, end of September. Week-long festival.
22nd through the 28th.
Yeah.
Excited to hear that. Any anticipation of when the lineup will be released?
I'm going to try to go a little earlier this year. I'm hoping by June I'll announce. It's always a little bit weird for me because, this is, I raise all this money myself. So it's a little different ethos and template. So I don't know why I'm always like, announcing makes me, it's so stupid because I'm booking already, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to try to go a little earlier. I'm trying to be a little more, get things dialed in a little bit differently. But I hope to see you guys there. You're always invited for anything.
Yeah.
To.
We want to do the same thing we did. Like we have ideas to make what we did last year better, I think.
It was awesome.
Energy.
And if I can leave anything to say, I want all of our Michigan Music Guild people to come, and I've been pushing for it because having you there is so different than even this. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really gave a cool energy for people, and I could push people your way. And I want people to be seen. I want people to use Sounds of the Zoo for the greater good. I really do. I want to be a catalyst for all things music. So we at least have something for a week we can all plug into. I want to see my symposiums grow so that we can offer classes. So I just want to make that shout out, please, come talk to me, use me, plug in, be creative. You guys were there, we're pretty open and can flow, and you can create it what works for you. So
we have one request though. We gotta have our tent has to be next to Sacred Springs.
Right.
Typically are, so that's okay. You got it.
We made good friends with Jeff.
We want to be right next to him this time. He was awesome.
He is so
He was
nice.
the most cool guy. Oh my God.
I know. He was such a big supporter. And I love that. I invite people that I know will help share the energy and support what we're all doing. So he is definitely coming back. I'm thrilled to say.
Sweet.
And we'll have you in that same spot. We'll make sure because it's starting to work. There's a flow going on. So if that's what it takes. That's your spot.
Cool. It was cool. We liked it a lot. And now we know more stuff that there's more things that we can bring to amplify it. Just, because now we know we did it one time. We'll make it better the second time.
All right. Well, thanks, Jennifer. Appreciate the time. And thanks for all you're doing for the music scene.
You're welcome.
Sure.
Rock on. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
If you like this episode, check out all of our episodes on your favorite streaming platform, or even our website, themittenmusic.com. Or if you want short clips of our episodes, check out our socials. We got Facebook, we have Instagram, we got TikTok, and YouTube. We're all over the social media game. Make sure to check out some live Michigan music or listen on your favorite streaming platform.